Hey folks, this is Matthew, and I wanted to introduce you to ClosingTime, which has been one of my new favorite toys to play with. It solves a problem that I've at least had since the beginning, and that is keeping the clients on pace and keeping them busy doing the things that they need to do in a meaningful and easy way without having to remember to send them an email every day. So there's a lot of things to be done by the buyer in the process of closing. So ClosingTime allows us as professionals to go set up. They have a basic account, and then of course a professional account for $10 a month. The free one does pretty much what we needed to do, maybe without the branding and the avatars and things like that, but it still does a great job for the free version. So ClosingTime, closingti.me is the website. And when you create your account, which takes just a few minutes, you can log in and now start working with buyers. And you can start a transaction. And we're going to say John Smith is the buyer. His email address happens to be mine. Oh, by the way, just a reminder, click on this as a test transaction before you get any further, because sometimes it invites buyers once you enter the email address in without the test, and then now it's not a test anymore. And then so Matthew at cbeva.com. And then what happens is it asks you to go through a series of questions that we can answer for this person. And in this case, I've actually already used John's, or I'm going to use Jane, and then it's going to be a test. I've already used that email address as a test. So it's going to ask for the address. We're going to sell one of our offices here. And we'll sell Bragg Road and invite. So once you have sent that or click that button to send the buyer, it actually doesn't start yet. It then takes you through this page of answering questions for the buyer. And so it'll start with basic information. What's the address? When was this contract signed? Are you getting a loan, financing? And then each phase is a quick set of questions that you can answer for the client. And then once you're done, you see that the end result is a task list for your buyer. So it shows that they need to get homeowners insurance and apply for that. They need to complete their loan application, Form 130, and they get an email each day, whatever the next task is to be done. And then they can assign tasks if this is to go to me as the agent, or if it's supposed to go to the loan officer, because one of the questions is are you getting a loan? Who's your loan officer? Who's your settlement company? You can throw that in there, and then you can see here it has amazing resources for the buyer to explain the process. So they get an email on a daily basis with here's your next task, here's the resources to explain what's involved in the task. They can say I'm done with this, or they can assign the task to someone else, you, the loan officer, whomever, and then the task goes away. And you, the agent, can also log into your portal if you're doing some of the things for the clients, and then you can assign to somebody. They can email you right from here to ask you questions about the next assignment of task, and you can see when they do email you, the subject line already tells you the question is about this task to be done. And then they can add a note, or you again can go in here and add notes, mark things as done and completed for the buyer. So you and the buyer are on track with all the stuff here that they need to do. And so the home inspection, it asks for different types of reports or inspections that can be done. All this stuff is very common things that we see in a transaction, but they get an email reminding you about it. I get an email as an agent if there's a question or anything. Otherwise, I don't see it. So it's not a hindrance for us as the agent every day. It just goes to the buyer, and I can put a whole bunch of these folks in here. So anyway, it's a great tool. I hope you go take a minute to check it out and look at it. It doesn't cost you anything, and I think your buyers will really appreciate it. Most buyers' complaints about the process is the agent didn't communicate with them well enough. Well, with this one tool takes care of a lot of those communication and touches to make them sure they're up to date and doing everything, and then you just send them your updates on a weekly basis. So hope you play with it. I think it's really cool, and I think you and your clients will benefit from it.